Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Shannon and today I am going to share with you my pre-loved designer collection. I will always try to shop secondhand first, and then if for some reason I'm unable to find exactly what I'm looking for, I will then buy it brand new. I've been buying pre-loved designer items now for the last few years, probably about 3 years, and I'm addicted. So I hope you enjoy. Let's get straight into it. The first ever designer piece I purchased, I actually ended up selling on, but it was a beautiful little Louis Vuitton PM agenda, and that did me well for about 2 years, and I sort of used it as a notebook. But I am someone who really loves a solid planner with a lot of lists. I like to be very organized with my daily diary, and I felt like that one just wasn't big enough and I wasn't using it. Unless I'm using something a lot, I don't like having a lot of things. It actually makes me a little bit stressed. So as soon as my wardrobe starts to feel cluttered, or as soon as I see items in my wardrobe that I'm no longer wearing, I am very quick to sell them on. And then I use that money to purchase other items, so it's kind of a win-win situation. But my second was this beautiful Gucci Marmont card holder. And I purchased this one off Depop, and it actually came with the box, the dust bag, and the receipt. And I paid $150 for it, and at the time it was in perfect condition. I have used it a lot now for the last probably 2 years, and there is some tarnishing on the gold sort of hardware here, so that's sort of just general wear and tear. Highly recommend. And I do think now that there's not a lot of life left in it, just purely because of the tarnishing, I am thinking about selling this one on and potentially purchasing a new card holder. So I will leave a link below to my Depop account because that's where I like to sell everything on. Okay, so my next purchase is actually my first ever designer handbag. Now, I thought that I was just going to buy one designer handbag and it was going to see me through for years to come. However, it's become a little bit of an addiction, so it definitely isn't my only designer handbag now. But at the time, I researched so much about what I believed would be the perfect asset to my wardrobe. So I went with the Gucci Soho Disco bag in black, and it's a beautiful black soft leather, and it has the gold hardware with the beautiful tassel there. Some people don't like the tassel, but for me it adds something. If it was without the tassel, it's quite plain. So that to me enables it to look dressy if you wanted to dress it up. So I was hunting forever for one of these bags because I just didn't want to spend a lot of money, obviously. I could not find one for under about $800 because they are a newer design, it's not vintage. And then I was on Depop, and I don't know if this was manifesting or something. I truly believe with all of my purchases it's been manifesting, and it sort of comes into my life at the right time. So with this one, I went onto Depop, looked up Gucci Soho Disco as I did every single day, and then this one popped up and it had only been online for 4 minutes, and she had it up for $500. And the bag was in perfect condition. It came with the box, it came with the dust bag, it came with the receipt. And after I purchased the bag, she had gone through her Depop store and everything, all the prices had increased. I honestly think she didn't realize the demand for secondhand bags, and she was like, oh crap, this person bought it within 4 minutes, maybe I put the price too low. So I definitely got a bargain with this one. This is definitely one of my, if not probably one of my favorite buys. I've got so many. They're all really unique in their own ways, and I honestly think that if I had to choose one bag out of my whole collection to keep forever, it would be this one. Okay, so when I was doing a fair bit of research, I came across all this information about Japanese sellers and how in Japan their customs and their laws are so strict about counterfeit items that you are if you purchase an item from Japan, you are guaranteed authenticity. So that for me was the perfect place to buy vintage, because a lot of vintage items don't come with their receipt, they don't come with their dust bag, which is totally fair enough. So anyway, I went onto eBay and I started following a bunch of Japanese sellers, and I actually have a blog post, I'll link it below, and I actually share every single account that I follow, the actual accounts. So if you wanted to get onto eBay and start following some Japanese sellers, I'll leave that link below. So basically, I really wanted a vintage handbag. Bags and fashion aside, I love antiques. I always have. I love Antiques Roadshow. I love beautiful old items that have a history. So the fact that I could sort of tie in vintage with my fashion as well was just kind of a win-win situation. Now, I came across this beautiful vintage Gucci satchel bag, and yeah, I just fell in love the moment I saw it. As soon as I saw it, I just thought I have to have it, and it was going for quite cheap as well. So it's got beautiful gold hardware. I love how the brown leather is this chocolate brown. Now this strap is adjustable, so this is the short version where you can sort of wear it on your shoulder, and then you've also got a clip where you can make it long like that, so it's more of a crossbody, and it's large. So I know it looks thin there, but when you put things in there, it's like a giant accordion. Look how big it is. You can honestly fit everything in there. I could fit a journal, I could fit my diary, my sunglasses, my wallet, lip balms, pretty much everything I could fit in this bag. It holds so much. Anyway, I was bidding, and oh my gosh, the butterflies and the nerves when you're bidding is just, it's indescribable. You're gonna have to experience it for yourself, because it's honestly an amazing feeling, especially when you win. So this I ended up paying 250 Australian dollars for. So an absolute bargain, and that's once everything was said and done. That's with the shipping. Actually, one of the accounts I follow has free postage, so that's a bit of a bonus. And it's honestly in perfect condition. When it did arrive, on the inside, and this can happen with some Gucci bags, it was sort of flaking a little bit. So I ended up looking up on YouTube how to get rid of the flaking, and it was a matter of pulling the inside sort of out and scrubbing it with some warm soapy water. However, I don't know if you can see there, but it's all warped on the leather now. If I had my time over, I would have been a little more gentle and ensured that the leather didn't get wet. But it's on the inside, you can't see it. And any vintage Gucci bag in this PVC is a great option, because PVC is so durable that you can pretty much choose any of the bags and you know that it's going to be in really good condition. Just as a double check, I did get this authenticated, and it is authentic. So that was just for me, just reassurance that yes, these sellers are safe. I'm happy to bid on these items. So that was my beautiful Gucci satchel bag. If there is one thing I tell people about buying pre-loved designer, it is that it takes time. You have to be patient and you have to be determined. So with that being said, I was looking on Depop, and I was just looking up each of my brands. My go-to are Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and Saint Laurent. And I came across a girl selling a bunch of designer clothing, and it was her mother's clothing because it looked very vintage. And I was sort of scrolling through her page, and I thought, oh, it's all a bit, you know, it might be designer, but it's not very nice stuff. It's all very, very vintage. But I came across the most beautiful YSL Blazer, and when I saw it, I just died. So I was honestly gobsmacked when I found this. It's got the beautiful YSL tag here, and then on the buttons you've got the most beautiful detail. I don't know if you can see there. You've got the YSL sort of emblem, and yeah, I came across this one, and she had it up for $300, and I said to her, would she accept $250 including postage? I'm always such a stingy person. It has no defects whatsoever, and the comfort. I've never been a big blazer wearer, but I wanted to get into blazers. I always found them super restrictive, and I would much prefer wear a cardigan or something like that than, or a knit or something like that, rather than a blazer, because I just found them so uncomfortable until I bought this one. This has a slight bit of stretch in it, and it is honestly the most comfortable blazer I own, and I am just obsessed. Okay, so the next item I purchased I wasn't looking for. It was just another sort of blazer situation where I'm looking at the brands. And I came across this beautiful Saint Laurent wallet, and I believe it's called the Fragments Flap. So I don't know if you guys have seen the Saint Laurent card holder, but it's basically the card holder with a flap. So I'll just come a bit closer, see if it focuses. For just $80, I figured that I'll purchase it, and if I don't wear it often, I can always put it back on Depop, and I'm sure I'll be able to get $80 again. But I've actually used it far more than I thought I would. It is handy because I'm used to having a card holder. It is handy having spaces for your coins and your money. So, and I don't really have anything sort of light in colour in my collection. So yeah, that was an absolute bargain, and it's beautiful, very, very sleek. The next item is actually another vintage bag, and I had been obsessing over Louis Vuitton for a while, and I just thought I have to have a Louis Vuitton monogram handbag in my collection. And I was looking at all different styles. So there are some beautiful vintage ones out there, but as I was looking, it was again like a really good deal sort of situation, and I do love the style. But I was looking on Depop and I came across a beautiful Louis Vuitton Speedy in the size 25. Now, I contacted the seller because she had it up for about $500, and yeah, I just asked her for more photos, and I asked her a little bit about the bag. While we were chatting about it, she actually had mentioned that she had another bag exactly the same, and it was her sister's, and her sister was looking to sell as well. So anyway, I'll just show you. So this one here is the Louis Vuitton Speedy in the size 25, and it is vintage. So this one here was made in 1989, and the quality is amazing. The leather is really thick, the patina is all even and a nice deep brown, and the canvas is in quite good condition. But the other bag that she had, the other Speedy, it was much newer. It was about 10 years newer, and the patina was quite light, and the canvas was in a little better condition. You could see the monogram much stronger. However, there was a bit of cracking going on, so I honestly couldn't make my mind up. One looked really quite nice and new and didn't look very vintage, but it had some cracking, and there was the zip missing. Not missing, but the whole tag on the zip was missing. And then there was this one that was in immaculate condition, but it definitely looked vintage. So I ended up being a little bit cheeky, and I offered her $600 for both, and she accepted. So I ended up purchasing both because that way I could see them for myself, and I knew that I would be able to sell one of them at least for more than $300. So I purchased both. I did actually start using the other one first. However, I don't really like to baby my bags, and because there was so much cracking going on, I just felt like, yeah, it was just too much to think about, and I ended up getting some leather glue, fixing up all the cracking, wiping down the canvas and polishing up all the brass, and I took some really nice outfit shots, and I ended up selling it for $500. So I ended up getting this one for only $100 really in the big scheme of things. So I ended up putting an insert in here from Etsy, and that sort of just keeps its structure, and I'm really, really happy with this bag. So again, it ended up being an absolute bargain, and I do want to have it in my collection forever, because Louis Vuitton prices and Chanel and all designer prices are going up every year. So it is an investment piece, and yeah, I absolutely love it. It's so beautiful, and the condition is just stunning. So that's the Louis Vuitton Speedy in the size 25, purchased from Depop, and yeah, ended up getting that one for about $100 in the end. Okay, so the next item I wanted to show you is actually a pair of sunglasses. Now, I went out to coffee once and I saw this lady sitting across from me, and she had just a beautiful sleek outfit on, and when she sort of turned her head, she had these beautiful sunglasses on and had the little Saint Laurent in gold on the side, and instantly I was like, yup, I need a pair of Saint Laurent statement sunglasses, because I was someone who really noticed that. I love when designer things are a little more discreet. So anyway, I started to look on Depop for a pair of sunglasses, and I came across the most beautiful Saint Laurent sunglasses, and I believe they're called the Betty sunglasses. And the reason I love this pair so much is because they're not cat eye, but they're definitely thinner, And to me, they looked really lightweight, and lightweight sunglasses is everything for me. I wear my Ray-Ban sort of wireframe ones to death purely because of how light they are, and it makes me feel like I've got nothing on my face. I had a pair of Valley sunglasses before, and they were really heavy and sort of weighed down on my nose, and I could honestly, it just made me feel a little bit claustrophobic or something. So the fact that these were quite thin, I was really attracted to. And I don't know if you can see there, but they've got the gold sort of Saint Laurent along the side, and they're just this beautiful sort of thin design, and they really do elevate an outfit. And I honestly think that they would suit anyone's face shape. So those were $250. I did try and get them cheaper, but she would not budge. So I think the black ones were $200. But yeah, I would rather pay the extra $50 and get the tortoise shell. So that was a bit of a bargain, especially because they're not vintage. These are a new design. So I really, really love those. For the next piece, I had been looking for this handbag for such a long time, and it is this beautiful Gucci Dionysus in the super mini size. So I came across a outfit inspo pic on Pinterest, and this girl was sort of walking, and she had a pair of jeans on, a white t-shirt, sneakers, and just this crossbody, and I fell in love. So I love the grungy kind of style with the khaki sort of velvet or suede, it's suede not velvet, and the monogram, and then you've got the beautiful sort of cheetah, I think they're cheetah or lion heads here, and the gunmetal hardware. So I ended up getting this one for $700, and I usually wouldn't ever spend upwards of $500 on a handbag. I know that seems really stingy because it is a designer handbag. This to me was a graduation present to myself. I really, really wanted it, and I knew that it was a one-off, it was a treat yourself moment. So $700, it came with the box, it came with the dust bag and the receipt and the ribbon. It was honestly, unboxing this was like it was brand new. She'd only ever worn it once. And I can understand why she would have worn it once. It is very small. I watched so many YouTube reviews on this bag. A lot of sort of people said don't buy it because you cannot fit anything in there. I can fit my phone. I've got iPhone 11. I can fit a card holder and my car key and a lip balm, but that's the max. The whole beauty of this was the size of it. I love the petiteness of it. I love how dainty it is. So I was willing to put up with the size issues for this style. So I make it work for me. I only ever use it if I'm going out to dinner and things like that, and it's absolutely stunning. I love this bag. And I purchased that one on Depop as well. Okay, so this item I actually only bought about 2 weeks ago, and I wasn't looking for it in particular, but I came across it on Depop, and it is this beautiful white Saint Laurent t-shirt, and I would say it's probably a women's size 10 to 12. That's if I had to put a size on it, and I am a sort of a 6 to 8, so it is on the bigger side, but I do sort of tie it up or tuck it in, and it's beautiful. Now, this was only $57. I purchased the shirt, it arrived, and I did my own research. The tag is very similar to the tag of the blazer. The way the stitching is done all leads to the conclusion that it is authentic. I did watch a video by Jess Shepherd, and she had a Saint Laurent t-shirt, and she said a dead giveaway is if there is a seam down the side. Saint Laurent has no seam, and I quickly ran into the wardrobe and checked, and this has no seam down either side. So I am definitely of the impression that this is an authentic Saint Laurent t-shirt. Now, it was advertised as vintage as well because I haven't seen this style. So yeah, a beautiful vintage piece, and you can feel the quality. It's nice and heavy, nice and soft. So that one was Depop, $57. And last but definitely not least, this piece only just arrived this week, and I am so pleasantly surprised. I was hunting for a Louis Vuitton Noé bag in the GM size for work, and as I was looking on eBay through the Japanese sellers, I found it extremely difficult to find one that was sort of reasonably priced and good quality. So I was hunting and hunting, and then I came across this bag, and it was a very similar style but a different brand, but the quality was insane. It was absolutely immaculate. I ended up purchasing it. I did put a poll on my Instagram, and a lot of people voted that they preferred the Louis Vuitton Noé bag. However, once I put up another story letting people know that there's about a $500 difference between the two bags, they were like, yep, go this one. So I ended up purchasing a Celine bucket bag, and as you can see, if you've seen the Louis Vuitton Noé bag, you can see that they are very, very similar, if not pretty much identical. It's just that the base of this one here is more rectangular and the Noé bag is more of a square. So this one here is in the most perfect condition. Now, I like to wear it this way, but as you can see, you've got the Celine emblem here, but I prefer to wear it this way because it's a little more sleek and it doesn't make it look so vintage. I feel like it looks vintage enough without having the emblem. So absolutely perfect condition. And a total bonus that I didn't even know was coming was that inside there is this beautiful Celine pouch, and it is attached by a beautiful gold chain that has no tarnishing whatsoever. Now, the inside of this bag is completely perfect. There is no stains, no marks, no peeling. And I paid, ready for it? I paid just 280 Australian dollars for this bag, and it is in perfect condition. So I honestly believe that the reason Celine is so affordable right now, especially vintage Celine, is because people just don't know about it yet. And I've seen multiple Instagram sort of fashion influencers starting to rock vintage Celine, and you watch, the demand will come and these will not be cheap anymore. So if you want to if you want to design a piece in your collection that is very, very affordable, go vintage Celine, because I truly believe it will be just as expensive as the other brands very, very soon. You heard it here first. That's what I think. That's my prediction, because there's no reason it wouldn't be. So that is the beautiful Celine bucket bag, and this will be my new work bag. So I've tried, I can fit my MacBook in here, I can fit a water bottle, my diary, pretty much everything I can fit in this bag. And when you wear it over the shoulder with a work outfit, it just looks really cool. Anyway, I really, really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if I missed anything about any of the bags, I probably did. I could ramble on for days about this topic. Just leave a comment below and I'll be sure to get back to you. You could also message me on Instagram. I'll leave all of that link below. And I do have some blog posts purely dedicated. One I've got purely about buying pre-loved on Depop. Another one I've got all about buying pre-loved on eBay and my top tips and tricks. So I'll leave those blog posts linked below as well. So if you wanted more info, you can go there. Thanks guys, and I'll see you in my next video.